What's going on, all you Amazon Prime Video enthusiasts? Your two favorite TV reviewers are back tonight, and we're here to review the entire second and final season of Hunters.
We hunt him down and kill him. If not us, then who? Join us.
That's right. Season 2 came back, and something we've been waiting for a few years. We reviewed the first episode of Hunter Season 2. That's only 8 episodes, and this is the final season. Honestly, I thought it could have probably went on a few seasons longer, but maybe not enough viewers. But basically, we just had the return of the cast behind me from Season 1, the Nazi Hunters. That's the setup of them. And then the 1970s, you have Logan Lerman and the rest of the cast going after more Nazis hiding out and essentially leading to Adolf Hitler that's been, going on for a long time. Did he really actually die? They dive into that. In Season 2, find out he goes in hiding for about 30 years. They find him and they're on the hunt to take down Hitler once and for all.
It's a really unique way to, take an alternate view on the events of what happened from World War II and what happened. It's very interesting, this whole story, put together and produced by Jordan Peele, of course. And then you have, the A-list talent, Al Pacino starring. And after the events of the first season, you're kind of wondering how he's going to come back. But they do a really good job in Season 2 of incorporating his character into the story and kind of what happened behind the scenes. And, with what happened with this character, he found out he was one of the Nazis at the end of the first season. So you really get the blanks filled in Season 2 of how that all happened and what he was doing and how he was conning people behind the scenes the whole time, which was very interesting. So it was cool that we got to see Al Pacino back. And then we had everybody, thrust into the 1970s. The costume and everything looked really, period centric to that time. It looked very great. The cinematography, wardrobe, everybody, looked like it was in that time period. And everybody's having a great time. There's a lot of, chewing scenes from Logan Lerman, his character. He did a lot of growing up, in these few years that we've seen him in the show, even from the first season until now. He seemed like like he's a grown up now, where he's more of kind of a kid in the first season. He's very much a grown adult and looking to, find out all these, these Nazis that have been hiding and that have been responsible for, basically killing his family members. So Season 2, picks up very strong from the beginning. We're introduced to a new character, Jennifer Jason Leigh playing this new character, one of the new hunters this season. But it very much picks up from where Season 1 left off. And we get some great Nazi hunting scenes where they get to take out their anger and get some revenge.
Jennifer Jason Leigh, I wanted to bring that up. She was fantastic in this season. She was the first episode that really sets the tone of this, very much like a Tarantino flick, like TV show. That's what it reminded me of. Just like Kill Bill action and gore and just a lot of brutal scenes having to do with these hunters hunting down Nazis and taking them out one by one. They're at different places. And as you said, Logan Lerman did grow up a lot. He plays Jonah from the first season to the second season. He's more of a grown adult now and relationship, and he's still hunting, trying to find and tracking down Hitler and finding out where his whereabouts are and, getting the team together, reintroducing Josh Radnor. He played Lonnie. If you guys know Ted from How I Met Your Mother, returning as Lonnie in this. Carol Kane, which is always great. She was really fantastic in the last few episodes. Love her as an actress and the rest of the cast behind me. All different characters, but all leading towards Hitler. And the stakes were super high. I was, on the edge of my seat waiting to see how this is all going to end. And it's really a great ending when they track him down and what they do to him.
Yeah, very, it's full of surprises because, obviously it didn't really happen. This is all like a fantasy take on, an alternate history. So it's really cool to see the hunters getting hunted this season, like we were talking about earlier. The tables are kind of turned and they're hunted one by one and kind of playing off one another and trying to figure out who's loyal and who's actually working with the Nazis. One of them is brainwashed, which is very interesting. And, we kind of have to find out who's who and who's on whose team in this season. So it's very intriguing. And as the season goes on, there's a lot of surprises throughout. And the last batch episodes are very, very strong. The last two, especially the last three or four, actually are very strong. So I loved how this season ended up, and I loved how they were able to, show us this take on, what would have happened to Adolf Hitler, rather than what actually happened to him. It would have been a much better ending for everybody involved. It would have been cathartic for everybody, for the Jewish people, for everybody involved in World War II, from everywhere, him standing trial and hearing from the people that, he affected millions of people. It's hard to even imagine, wrap your head around what happened, but, hearing the actors that were put on trial and were able to, testify against Adolf Hitler. There's some powerful stuff there, in that final episode that made me well up, and just, it's crazy what happened to these people, and to see them, get a sense of revenge and get to, testify against Adolf Hitler himself was something to see, and something that really stood out in the second and final season of the show.
We got to give props to Udo Kier that played Hitler. I think that's that guy. Obviously, he's a lot older now. I haven't seen him. He was always kind of the weirder villain in 80s and 90s movies, but playing Hitler, he did a great job. Very convincing, and seeing the trial and the testimony and hearing people's stories of all the people he affected, the family members, everything they went through, and you're a piece of shit, you're a monster, and finally getting justice. So I thought that was a very satisfying ending to a very satisfying show in a season. I thought it was much better than a lot of other people thought. A lot of bad reviews about this. I don't see why. First two episodes really set the tone and the atmosphere and what they're trying to do this season with Hitler. Episodes 3 and 4 a little slow, and then the last 4 stakes were super high, and it was awesome. Seeing the hunters get hunted by Hitler's men, and them going after Hitler at the same time. So constant battle, seeing constant action just in your face, really insane. A lot of great gore, a lot of good kill scenes. Characters that you love who don't always make it through, but really sets up the finale of this and basically ending the show, and then possibilities in the future, maybe bringing it back, because Nazis are still out there, still need to be hunted. So a really fantastic season. Nothing really major to complain about. I thought great performances across the board. The score, the music was amazing this season. Seeing Pacino back was cool, and his character, but it was really the people behind it that really nailed the show in season 2 and what they did with Hitler, like we discussed. And overall, I was very pleased, and it's a show I highly recommend that's streaming on Amazon Prime Video. That being said, I'm going to give Hunter season 2, I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5. Jennifer Jason Leigh hairpieces.
I wish this show got more press and more props, more viewers. I feel like it just got put out at a bad time, right around the pandemic and all that, and kind of forgotten about for a while. It was a couple of years, in between seasons, people kind of forgot about it, and, it just didn't do well enough, unfortunately. Yeah, we remembered though, and I'm glad that we got to watch it. And I'm glad that they did make a second and final season and were able to wrap everything up and didn't just make a season and kind of just quit in the middle of it like a lot of shows. So with that being said, I think we both enjoyed Hunters a lot more than most. And we really enjoyed this second season, especially how everything wrapped up in the end. And the cast was great. Everybody was phenomenal. Really appreciated everybody's work and appreciated the storyline and the writing on this. The score, everything looked great. It was just a great show. So with that being said, I'm going to give the second season, the final season of Hunters, a 3.5 out of 5 Al Pacino hairpieces.
Hoo-wah! So we want to hear from all you hunters out there. What did you like about this season 2 of Hunters? What didn't you like about it? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to click subscribe. Also, check out these wild rascals on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and our website, Cinephellas.com, for the latest, greatest TV, movie, news, and reviews.
So that's right. We have wrapped up another series, this time on Amazon Prime Video. One of the best ones so far on that platform. There's been a few. We're going to miss this show. It definitely felt like they could have had several more seasons out of this. They wrapped up everything nicely in season 2, but this could have played out nicely over 5 seasons. I would have liked to seen it stretch out into some other time periods maybe, but at least they got to wrap everything up. So please let us know what you guys thought about the series. Let us know what you would have liked to see more of. Thank you guys for tuning in to our review of the second and final season of Hunters. And until the next Cinephellas TV review, I'm Uncle Henry Hill.
And I'm Uncle Logan Learman, signing out until the next TV review.
Cheers!
Scent of a woman.
Hooah!